Alright, so today is Saturday. It was a pretty decent day all around, as I kind of expected, as we both kind of expect. Lots of hills. And so it was sunny most of the day, probably about 90% of the day, but it was really windy, so it was like, we started out with heavy stuff on, but as the day progressed, we eventually got down to just this, which is my classic Superman, of course. So we started out this morning at the David Lesser shelter. We had some breakfast, we dried out the tent, folded it all up, was out of there by about 10 o'clock because we're lazy. And we hiked up and we got to see two pretty decent views. One was called Buzzard Rock. I've got pictures of it, of course, so you guys will see those eventually when I get around to putting all this stuff on the internet. We got past there. We walked through nothing but like rocks and just green grass and ferns. It was up to here. Just everything's green, and then you got green grass just growing wild. I mean, we're not talking like side of the road green. We're talking bright green. It was absolutely beautiful, every step of it. We got to the Blackburn Trail Center, and we decided to stop for lunch and plug all of our equipment in and get it all charged up, his phone, my camera. And then we had lunch, and I sat out in the sun and sunbathed, and that was pretty cool. Man, it's been such a long day, I feel long-winded. I know, nobody's used to me being long-winded, right? So we got done at Blackburn. We got 2 cans of soda while we were there. We had some chicken and some mashed potatoes while we were there. Took advantage of the sunshine. We weighed our packs. Carol, you need to adjust your scale at home because it was like 6 pounds off, and I've lost weight out of my pack. So now my pack is about 36 pounds. Jeremy's is how much?
Well, it said it was like 38 pounds today, which I don't think that's right either.
Well, I think that's right, because that scale is made. It's one of the scales that hangs from the ceiling that they use, and it's not made to weigh backpacks, but that's what it's up there for now. It's made to weigh, or it's set up there to weigh backpacks. That's why it was hanging there. But the Blackburn Center was really cool. Everybody was really nice. We got to talk to more than a couple of people today. I'm actually at a loss. The only one I actually remember the name of is Starchild. Just because who forgets a name like Starchild? And so we left Blackburn, and we had to stop 2 different times on the way up the hill because it's just, it might not have been like a steep staircase like when we went down to it, but the way that we went back was just a zigzag, but it still had plenty of stairs. And I don't know if any of you have ever tried to stair step, 50 times in a row with 35 pounds on your back.
It's very, very difficult
Uphill,
and tiring.
especially after coming down like 40 or 50. No, actually, I'd say that one was closer to like 60 or 70 steps.
Yeah, at least 60 steps.
Yeah. And that includes hills and whatnot. That's not just straight step. That includes hills in between. And these are just rocks that are just set up to be. So it's not even like it's even, or, They do their best. It's a very well-maintained trail. So, we ended up stopping on this side of the Devil's Race Course. It's also known as the roller coaster. We are going to take the entire day tomorrow to do it, and we decided to stop here next to the spring, of course, because that way we could start out in the morning time with fresh water. That's good. And so we could get up, we could have our breakfast, we could have some fresh water, and then walk the next 3/4 mile, I guess, maybe to Ravens Rock for the view there, and then the race course starts after that, and hopefully by tomorrow evening or afternoon we'll be as far as the Bears Den, which we're going to try not to camp at, but there's a store along the way that we need to hit. It's a good 10 minutes away by car from the hostel, so maybe we can see if we can hitchhike or we can set our bags down at the hostel. And then we're going to continue on from there. Now, on the more tragic news, I hate to be the one to tell you all this, even though I have already on Facebook. But Carol broke today. I put her away, and when I opened up the pouch, it just slid out and broke her neck.
Yeah, it was a sad morning.
It was a sad morning. It was just, and I just put it in there too, so it's like I had no reason to forget that it was there. So I've been debating how to do that today, how to make Carol work for me. And luckily this afternoon, after we got our tent up, which is over here.
There it is.
Hey,
Orange tent, our
Yeah,
house. That's our house.
That's our house. We should call it the villa.
The villa.
Yeah. Okay, so after all is said and done, we made our food. We played some games of Uno, which we've been really having fun with in the last 2 days. We're trying to get the right people to play Cards Against Humanity. There were kids there last night at the shelter. Oh, you know, that's another something, and I think I mentioned it. There was a woman and her two daughters. Her two daughters were 12 and 14, and they were walking from Harper's Ferry to Damascus, which is quite a trek in itself, especially with two kids. But they actually trekked on farther than us today, and they probably made it to Bears Den Hostel.
And they're eating pizza and
Ice cream.
washing themselves in the
Yes, and
shower
doing their
and laundry and eating ice cream.
Yeah, that's all right.
But they're out $90, so
Yeah, because that's a $30 package.
yeah.
$17 gets you the shower and DVD watching privileges and a bed to sleep in for the night. But yeah, okay. So past that, that's just where we're hoping to be. So what we did with Carol, I took a piece of duct tape and I rolled it real tight as I could get it because it's duct tape and it's sticky on one side. And I actually encased the bottom of the bowl where the bowl meets the stem. And then we took some regular old duct tape, because I'm a MacGyver with duct tape, everybody knows it. And we just sandwiched it in, and we made sure it was stable. And then we took other pieces of tape, small pieces, and we connected it all the way around, and we made sure that it's unmovable, but I can still remove all this when I finally get some super glue, if I need to. This might work all the way. And now it's airtight, and just to prove that it still works, Carol still hits like a champ.
Carol's back.
Yes, so high fives, Carol. You work. All right, so that's our day. Jeremy, is there anything you'd like to add about our day? Other than the tons of stopping we did because we're lazy?
We tried to see another view, but it was a little shaded by trees. We saw a little bit, but it was mostly like a farm and a water tower.
The crazy thing about all this was, like, we were up on top, but we had no view at all. We've been up on top all day long, but we've had no view at all.
Yeah, nothing. Trees.
We had two decent views, but they were cut short, as you'll see in the pictures when I finally get there. But it was like we were walking on the edge of it, and it was like just up the slope to our right. Bunches of times it's like, man, if I just go up that slope, I'll bet I'll get a view. And we never did, because we were climbing enough hills as it is. And we know that we're going to be blessed with tons and tons and tons of views from here on out. And the most famous is going to be
Clingman's Dome.
Oh, you're so close. Come on.
McAfee Knob.
McAfee Knob.
Well, it was 2.
Ugh.
2 views.
Klingsman's Dome is just the highest point on the trail. Which
Well, that's
is,
still a view.
do you know?
You have to,
do
you have
know
to climb up the.
Do you know the elevation? 6,000 what?
I thought it was like 6,100 and something,
42.
wasn't it? Yeah, something like that.
42 is my magic number for everything. It comes up in my life quite a bit. Okay, so anyways, so on to the last of that. This is where we're staying for the night, and the sun is going down, as you can see. Can you actually see that? Go up.
There's the sun. Oh, let me get over
Hey,
here and you can
sun.
see a little bit of it. Oh,
Bye, sun.
there we go.
And once again, we may have walked all day. My ass may be a little bit sore, and my legs are definitely sore.
See, he's wearing.
I put a little bit of Vaseline on my left foot on 2 of my toes because I'm starting to rub hard. But my shoes are holding up. My pants are holding up, thank goodness. And I still got my Superman shirt on. So at the end of the day, we're still way out here doing this, and you're still there doing that. And that's all we have to say.
Have a good day, guys.